Hello everyone and welcome to our share studio. Have you ever felt like your drawings look flat just like this house on the left? It is because you're missing a vital part to drawing, and that is thinking about volume. Most beginner artists tends to forget about this when they're drawing, so their drawings end up looking just like this. So it is not surprising though, because most beginner artists struggle with that. So one of the biggest reasons is that I think it's because they do not understand basic, simple, like three-dimensional shapes. And this is where this video comes in. In this video, I'll be showing you how to draw the four basic three-dimensional shapes, which are cube, the sphere, the cylinder, and the cone. These four basic three-dimensional shapes are basically the foundation of almost everything that you'll draw in the future. So yeah, let's get started. But first, I would like to explain the difference between two-dimensional and three-dimension. Uh, two-dimensional images are images that only have height and width. So using a square as an example, this square has width and height. But this doesn't look that good, right? Because it's flat. In for three-dimension, it has both height and width, and there's one more, and that is depth. So let's use a cube as an example. This cube has three-dimensional because it has width, it has height, and this is depth, one more dimension. So this one more dimension, the additional one more dimension makes it more volumetric and more lifelike in this sense. Yep. So let's get started. The first shape that we will draw as a three-dimensional basic shape is the cube. So drawing the cube is relatively easy because you just have to essentially stack two two-dimensional cubes. I mean, sorry, two-dimensional squares. So next to each other. So it will be like this. And then essentially connecting each corner to the corresponding corner of the next square. So it will be like this. And there you have a cube. But you will have to erase these lines. It's because you don't really see this line in real life. It's just it's a good reminder that there is surfaces behind the surface that we see. So we can draw these with the dotted lines. So yeah, that's a cube. And the second one is sphere, right? Sphere is not that different from the two-dimensional shape. This is two-dimensional sphere. For a three-dimensional sphere, it would look just almost similar, but three-dimension has contours on the circle, so it gives them more three-dimensional shape, three-dimensional feel. So if you want this to feel more realistic, you can draw dotted lines. Basically, these dotted lines are what you would see behind the circle, behind the sphere. So this is three-dimensional. So the third shape is the cylinder. Cylinder is basically two circles joined together, right? So first I'll completely draw this circle, but you have to uh, erase this side that's covered by the object. So yeah, this is one. So yeah, these dotted lines are basically a guide for me to understand what's going on behind the object, if you understand what I mean. So the last but not least is the cone, right? This is cylinder. And the last one is cone. Cone is basically an, a circle that has a tip, sharp tip, just like this. It's not that hard to draw. You basically draw an ellipse, kind of, and then you draw a line straight down the middle if you want, and then connect it from both ends, just like this. So yeah, there you have four basic shapes. Uh, they're pretty much very easy to draw, and so I hope you get it. So why these shapes matter is because I think that almost everything can be simplified into these forms, right? So as an example, I'll use this house right here as a reference. So from this reference, we can kind of shape out what this like house is made of. So basically, it's basic shapes. I'll be breaking it down, right? So let's first reduce your opacity to about 50%, and then over this, I'll draw construction lines, but by using the four shapes I've taught you, which is the cube, the cube, the cylinder, the sphere, and the and cone. So yeah, for this house, I can see a rectangle here, right? And this goes back. So this will be the depth. This is the width, the height, and this is the depth. So using this, I can see. So if I were to continue past this line, I know where the top surface of this house would be, of this rectangle will be, right? And so for the roof, there's a rectangle block. So yeah, here. Nice. So as you can see, you can just imagine shapes in three dimension. Okay, let's move this to the side for a bit. And as you can see, it kind of looks more volumetric, right? Compared to two-dimensional shape, which would be like this, right? Like like this. So compared to this is more realistic and more lifelike. So yeah, let's move on to another example, which is a tree, right? Let's use tree as an example to show that they're basically most everything is made of like the four basic shapes that I've mentioned. So this is tree trunk, and basically I can see like, oh wait, let me bring this down. So opacity. So and this is basically a cone. I don't know if you can see it, but this is like a cone here, and then this goes away from the viewer, just like this, right? I don't know if you can see it, but I'm drawing as best as I can. So yeah, I can kind of imagine the side that's behind it. So it'll be like, let me draw with dotted lines to make it clear, just like this. So yeah, for this, it's gonna be, I think it's not that wide, probably not. So yeah, about this way. Yeah, so delete this, erase this. Yeah, so we can draw another cylinder on top of this to represent another part of the trunk. I mean, these branches too, they basically this cylinders, right? And this one too, cylinders, basically. So yeah, tree can also be broken down by this four simple three-dimensional shape. And lastly, but not least, the human body, which is probably the most difficult subject to master. So yeah, so at some point you will reach a level where you can basically imagine how like the orientation of these three-dimensional shape, and then figure out how they're positioned. So as an example, I'll show you. So I can see this face is kind of looking up, right? But I can also kind of see the top of his head. So right, so I'll see top of the head, right? And then I can also kind of see the ear, this ear. So I'll see the side of this rectangle too. So yeah, this is the face surface, and this is the ear and the top of the head. So this would be how the cube, how the rectangle is oriented. So for the body, for the torso, I can see the shoulders, top of the shoulders. So like right there, I'll position it like this, and it goes down quite deep, about this much, and then just imagine past the body, thinking this basic stuff. Now, I'll say that you're not gonna get to this point instantly. You do have to practice a little bit. So I'll roughly say about like 1 to 2 months of practice can get you to this point. You just have to be patient and practice basically every day. And for the pelvis, you have this rectangle, just like that. So yeah, and I can also continue to draw legs. So in this case, I'll show you with a cylinder, right? Here I can go past, and then you can kind of taper down because this in this particular pose, this Dutch human is like foreshortened, so you have to taper down a little bit, just like this, right? Yeah, that will be the structure of the upper thighs, and then there will be the knee, and this is the calf. So basically, I'm just using the simple cylinder, cube, and basically these four basic three-dimensional shape. Also, you can also draw the head with a spear if you want, right? So I'll show it here to be more precise. So the face is kind of facing up, facing, yeah, up. So be kind of like this. And Here's the side of the head. This is where the ear is gonna come in. So yeah, so you can also draw the head with the sphere. Basically depends on comes down to how you want to draw and like the preference you have. So yeah, I think you get what I mean. Basically, almost everything can be broken down into these simple shapes, and so yeah. But the most important thing is, I would say, is to practice, right? And the best way to do this is to practice using actual shapes, actual references. So it'd be like, okay, so this is basically a reference image of three-dimensional shape in field um, form. So yeah, here you can see a sphere. Basically, oh, let me change the opacity. Here you can see a sphere right there, and you can see the contour of where the shadows hit the light hit the surface and the shadow began. So you can also do this if you want more idea, better idea how the sphere is located. And this is a cylinder, as you can see. Yep. So I can also kind of go past drawing this and then imagine how it would be behind this object. Right. Right. All right. So what I'm just doing is that I'm just tracing over this image to just get an understanding of how simple shape like this is constructed. So after that, I can kind of just construct on my own. I draw on my own. Yeah, I always have trouble with this spirit thinking, but yep. So this is probably where the shadow starts, and this is where I mark the another contour, and at the back would be the cylinder, right? So just like this, uh, boom, and there will be uh well cube here, right? And there you go, simple shape. I just drew this by first tracing over the actual image and then drawing it from my own imagination. So yeah, that's how you can practice drawing three-dimensional shape. And after a certain point, you'll be able to just imagine it from your head and without actually having to go over the image, just like I have right now. So yeah, uh, I suggest you draw like each basic three-dimensional shape, like cube, like in five different positions, and five positions for spheres, five different positions for cylinders, and five different positions for spheres. I mean cone. So this help you get a better understanding and feel of how three-dimensional shapes work. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to my channel and for more tutorials. And so for the next tutorial, I might do one about lighting and shadows. If you guys like this video, then I definitely will make that one. And so yeah, thank you. Happy drawing.